smearing Pam Bondi for doing a great job. Take a look.
Essentially, Pam Bondi's first act in office is to order an investigation of the January 6th and the classified documents prosecution of Donald Trump. That is an outrageous thing to do on your first day.
She said, Pam Bondi did during her confirmation hearing, she would be looking forward, seemed to suggest that she would not be targeting any employees, that she was just going to do the work of the justice system. But in her first act as Attorney General, promising to investigate the investigators of Donald Trump.
Yeah, I mean, that message is pretty clear.
If anybody is weaponizing these two agencies, it's the people who are about to take over. And I note that the Pam Bondi, she just created a weaponizing task force. What the heck is that? Except once again, turning inward and looking at the people, the brave people who are working in the DOJ and FBI and looking at them saying, are you next? It's a crazy times.
Now, after the 2024 election, anger, loathing, rage are the only things the Democrats have left. Of course, Pam Bondi will have a tough road ahead. According to border czar Tom Homan, the violent Venezuelan gang Tren de Aragua was tipped off by someone prior to ICE raids that were to take place in Denver. Now Tom Homan is vowing to fight back. Take a look.
We're not going to tolerate it anymore. This is not a game. When we show these sites, this is a dangerous job for the men and women of ICE and Border Patrol and all the DOJ agencies. To have this type of interference puts our officers at great risk. Not only the officers, it puts the aliens at great risk because anything can happen when we take our eyes off the goal here. So we're addressing that immediately today. It's not a joke. This is serious business and they need to stop or we won't prosecute them to the Department of Justice.
So tonight, the big question, how will Bondi work with the DHS to fix our broken immigration system while also making much needed reforms to the DOJ to stop its weaponization, rooting out those who are actively working against the Trump administration. Anyway, joining us now for our very first interview after being sworn in by Clarence Thomas, the new Attorney General of the United States, a longtime friend of the program, Pam Bondi. Pam, great to have you. Well, you've had your own shock and awe. 30 hours since being in office. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. Just landed from New Orleans, as you said, and Christy Nunn with Homeland Security has done a great job working in conjunction with our ATF agents, our DEA agents, our FBI agents, getting ready for the Super Bowl. Also, Sean went out today and met with the family of Matthew Tanadaro. I met his mom, Kathy. He was killed on January 1st in that horrific murder in New Orleans, and I got briefed on that today. So it's been a very busy day. Met with over 30 members more of law enforcement in New Orleans, and they are prepared for the Super Bowl. Kathy Lanier with the NFL, they are crushing it out there, and they are going to keep New Orleans and Louisiana safe. And I'm proud to be part of that.
I'm glad to hear that. Let me start with you cracked down on sanctuary cities. The DOJ has put a pause on all federal funding to sanctuary cities and states. You filed a lawsuit against Chicago and the state of Illinois for being a sanctuary city. Am I wrong in my interpretation that a sanctuary city is aiding and abetting in lawbreaking?
Sean, what they're doing is they are choosing illegal aliens over the safety and security of their own citizens and the men and women of law enforcement who are out there trying to protect their citizens. Not only did we sue today the city of Chicago, we sued the state of Illinois, we sued the mayor, we sued the governor, and we sued others. And let me be very clear, if you don't comply with federal law, you're going to be next.
What about those that we now know apparently tipped off the Tren de Aragua gang in Colorado prior to an ICE raid? Obviously, that would be breaking the law. Will we get to the bottom of that?
Yeah, Sean, absolutely. And that risk the lives of our great men and women in law enforcement. I mean, this is horrific what these people are doing to try to destroy our country truly and jeopardize the lives of law enforcement and our citizens. And Tom Homan is absolutely right to be appalled and furious but we will all get to the bottom of this. And, you know, Donald Trump has created an incredible team of people who truly, we were pre-existing friends, so many of us. We get along great and we work so well together. And we truly like each other, and we support everything President Trump is doing, and we are all here to protect our country. And that's what it's all about right now, Sean, keeping America safe.
My biggest fear, the thing that would keep me up at night, is that we know, because of Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, and Alejandro Mayorkas, we have known terrorists in the country, but we don't know where they are. You mentioned the order to go after cartels and work with DHS on that. I'm glad you're doing that. I worry about them. I worry about gangs in the country, but we also have known murderers, rapists, other violent criminals. How do we find them?
Well, Tom Homan, Stephen Miller, Christy Noem, DHS, they're doing a great job. And what we're doing with all of our FBI agents, DEA, ATF, all of the federal agents, U.S. Marshals, everyone is going to work together, and they're going to actually prosecute violent crime instead of weaponizing government. And that's what's been happening, and Mazie Hirono is wrong. It's the end of the weaponization of government and getting back to prosecuting violent crime and giving our great men and women the tools that they need in law enforcement to go after these horrific gangs, the drug dealers, the fentanyl dealers who are killing people on our streets every day, and the cartels. And we will do everything in our power to find them and eradicate them in our country. And that's thanks to Donald Trump and the many executive orders that he's issued.
I want to ask you, Judge Eileen Cannon in the Jack Smith case against President Trump and the documents case, finally kicked the case out of court. It was over because of what she believed was an illegitimate appointment of Jack Smith. And the issue always comes before an attorney general on the issue of appointment of special counsels. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, special counsels from here on out in our country will be legally appointed, and they won't be done constantly like they've been done in the past. And yeah, Judge Cannon is a brilliant judge. She followed the law. That will be upheld, and the weaponization of government will end. No more special counsels out there targeting anyone.
Yeah. When we talk about weaponization, I would say we didn't have equal justice or application of our laws with President Trump. I would argue that, okay, if top secret classified information is something worth raiding Mar-a-Lago about, why didn't they raid the 4 locations where Joe Biden had top secret classified information? Why didn't they raid Hillary Clinton's home? She deleted 33,000 subpoenaed emails. She had top secret classified information on it. That to me is not equal justice under the law or equal application of our laws. What do you make of a justice system that is only targeted somebody because of their political beliefs?
Well, it's a 2-tiered system of justice, Sean, and it will no longer be in existence in our country. Yeah, what Joe Biden did, of course, was he didn't even have the right to take classified documents, and we all know they were sitting in his garage, yet no one chose to prosecute him. They have targeted Donald Trump from day one. We've known this, we've always known this, and that is going to stop. We're going to get back to the core function of what our government, our law enforcement was intended to do: prosecute violent criminals and get them off our streets. Weaponization ends, and it ended the day that Donald Trump took office. And the American people saw that crystal clear because they elected him by a landslide.